Right now on Up with KREM, the CDC voted to recommend booster shots for certain groups of Americans. Who's eligible for a third shot?
The Coeur d'Alene Public School Board is considering changes to their COVID-19 guidelines after pleas from healthcare workers.
And that's why we're really passionate about helping people to understand why this isn't a, absolute situation. We can impact change. We can wear our masks.
Nothing but sunshine and warm temperatures the next few days across the inland Northwest, but a big change is in the works. We're talking fall-like weather returning.
Release the Kraken! The NHL team skates onto the ice for the first time this weekend here in Spokane.
Up with KREM begins now with Tim Pham, Channing Curtis, and Jeremy Legoo.
Hey there, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Well, let's get right to one of our big stories of the day as the CDC is now recommending a third dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to millions of vulnerable Americans.
This includes people ages 65 and older, nursing home residents, and people between the ages of 50 and 64 with underlying health problems. The booster can be given at least 6 months after the second shot.
So this recommendation follows the FDA granting emergency use authorization for the Pfizer booster shot on Wednesday.
Another big story we're tracking at this hour today. The Coeur d'Alene Public School District Board is holding a special meeting. It's the second time this week alone that the board will talk about COVID-19 protocols.
Right now, school leaders are considering 2 changes to help slow the spread of COVID in schools. The first change requires staff, students, and visitors to wear masks while they're on campus. Now, currently they're not required, but they are recommended in the district. The second thing is that they hope to clarify the language for the district's quarantine requirements.
Today's meeting comes in response to local pediatricians seeing a surge in COVID cases in children. Some Kootenai Health staff wrote a letter to the district to make masks mandatory.
I think a lot of parents and school board officials are saying, well, that's not me. That's not our house. That's not our home. And it is, and that's what makes us sad and scared because it doesn't need to be this way. And the more we team up and the more we mask up and the more we vaccinate those who are eligible, hopefully the sooner we can get back to that normal that we all desperately, desperately want.
As of yesterday, the district is reporting that 25 employees and 156 students are out with COVID-19. Now that comes as more than 400 students and 40 employees are in quarantine at home pending COVID test results. The
meeting is today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Midtown Meeting Center. You can watch it live on KREM.com or inside the KREM 2 app.
In the meantime, Providence Healthcare is announcing that they are using a post-op area in order to treat non-COVID patients who need ICU care after having major surgery.
So during a news conference, they also addressed current COVID-19 trends, specifically those among children. Providence officials say the intensive care units are filling up, but the patients are getting younger.
What I can tell you is that we're seeing much younger patients in our ICU. It's not uncommon to see 30-year-olds in our ICU, lots of 50-year-olds in our ICU. What's been really striking since the start of the pandemic initially, our ICU was almost completely full of nursing home type age patients.
Now, Dr. Getz says the elderly population in the ICU has actually decreased because they are the most vaccinated population.
He also says many of the hospitalized children are too young to be vaccinated. He stressed the community needs to get vaccinated to help vulnerable populations and to those unable to get vaccinated.
Now, a COVID-19 outbreak is being reported at a nursing center in Colville.
Pinewood Terrace Nursing Center is reporting 74 new cases and 5 deaths. The first case was reported on August 25th. 22 staff and 52 residents were infected. 33 of those individuals were fully vaccinated.
According to Northeast Tri-County Health District, one of the people who died was also fully vaccinated.
In a statement, the nursing home says the Delta variant is ruthless. It is affecting each individual differently, making it nearly impossible to tell who may currently be infected, who may get severely ill, who may only have mild symptoms, or who will succumb to complications due to the virus.
All right, the time is now 6:04. Let's get a look outside on this Friday. We want to know what the weather is going to be like for the weekend because we want to get outside. We want to do stuff.
We need to get outside before it gets too cold.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to. So, let's get you there. But right now, that 3-day forecast, Ooh, it's looking good. 78 today, 82 tomorrow, and 78 on Sunday, but it is going to be downright gorgeous to get us there. We've got a great weekend in store across much of the inland Northwest, and we're looking at a beautiful, well, day. We start out with temperatures on the mild side, mid to upper 40s right now. 49 in Spokane, 44 in Coeur d'Alene, and 41 in Sandpoint. How about 46 in Moses Lake and 53 in Wenatchee? Not a cloud in the sky. That means temperatures are going to drop a little bit more as that sun comes up. Sun officially rises here in about 36 minutes. But 36 minutes from now, that means we still have a little bit of time to cool down before the sun starts warming us up. But once the sun comes up, expect to warm up and warm up rather quickly. We have to warm up quickly if we're going to get into the upper 70s later this afternoon. And today is kind of the day that kicks off our warming trend. I know we saw ample sunshine yesterday, but by this afternoon, shorts weather. That's the return of shorts weather for me. And I know we looked at it, but yeah, it's shorts weather all weekend long.
It's crop top weather for Jeremy. Just saying. We'll share the picture on social media.
Don't worry.
All right, to the other big story we're tracking at this hour, a federal arrest warrant is issued for Brian Laundrie, the fiance of Gabby Petito, who was found dead in Grand Teton on Sunday.
Now, Gabby's death is ruled a homicide after she disappeared during a cross-country trip with Laundrie. However, the warrant is related to activities that actually happened after Gabby's death.
Court documents showing the grand jury charged Laundrie with intent to defraud using a debit card in the amount of at least $1,000. This happened sometime between August 30th through September 1st.
That is believed to be around the time that Gabby disappeared. Multiple agencies are still on the hunt for Laundrie, who is believed to be in a reserve in Florida. So right now, there are 115 missing men and women from Washington. 11 are actually missing from the Spokane area. Washington has the second highest number of missing Indigenous women and girls in the nation.
So Seattle has the highest number of missing Indigenous women and girls in the country, actually. It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Evacuation orders have been lowered for areas near the Double J fire burning northeast of Republic and Ferry County. Now, there are still several level 2 evacuations in place at the locations that you can see there on your screen now, which means that people should be ready to leave at a moment's notice. The Department of Natural Resources still has ground and air crews on the scene.
There's a new temporary location for a South Hill dog park. The dog park leadership in the city decided on a 6-acre site to be used as a temporary off-leash dog park south of Mullen Road. The current dog park will close on October 4th and the temporary park will open on the 8th. The current South Hill Dog Park is closing to allow for a new middle school to be built on the land.
The average sale price of homes in Kootenai County rose nearly 40% in the last year. The average price of a home is now $470,000. According to the Coeur d'Alene Association of Realtors, buyers are still outnumbering listings. They say it's very much a seller's market.
The ongoing bus driver shortage is impacting families across the Spokane area. The Spokane Public School Board talked about potential solutions but have not come to any conclusions quite yet. Parents are weighing in on the potential solutions, which include public transportation or carpooling.
I don't feel like they would be appropriate to take an Uber or take a public bus. I would want to do some training with them before we ever even considered an option like that. And I really wouldn't feel very comfortable because of their ages.
At least one high school football game had to be canceled due to lack of bus transportation for athletes. That's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Throughout the pandemic, we've seen many waves of COVID-19 come and go. So this morning, we're taking a look at what causes those waves and how to smooth them out.
And a possible government shutdown could be looming. What exactly would it take for a shutdown next week?
And we talked about this weekend's warm weather, but we got to talk about what happens after, because we are looking at yet another big change in the works as we get into next week. It's temperatures dropping and rain returning.